right, how's everyone doing today? Thursday afternoon, coming to you live, um, continuing my summer series here, and just trying to keep it a little bit different, a little bit fresh, kind of on topic. Some of the things that I'm seeing through the summer here, some of the issues that keep coming back over and over again. Um, just trying to make sure things are live. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. So, for those of you who are joining me live, let me know you're here. And for those of you watching the replay, please comment. Please chime in on if you find this information useful. If there are any lives that you want to see me do kind of going forward, I'd love to get some more impacts. Over the next few weeks, I'm really trying to focus on things that come up in conversation with my friends or with my colleagues and peers, pain points that each of us kind of individually feel, and kind of some actionable tips so that people can walk away with something tangible that they can use going forward. So today's live really just came to me from a conversation I had with a friend of mine. He's going through some burnout, and I keep coming back to these three things, these three kind of feelings that you need to get out of burnout. And it's funny because there's all the tactics, there's all the conversation around it, but it really just does center on three main feelings, right? And those are optimism, gratitude, and hope. Okay? I'm going to write those down because I think that it's really important to kind of keep that in our minds, right? So you have optimism, gratitude, and hope. And it's interesting when I started to think about these three words. What has happened is, I think in any new endeavor, I don't care what it is, whether it's a job, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a relationship, whether it's parenting, we always start with optimism, right? We always start with you're so happy, you're so optimistic, this is going to go the distance, this is going to be amazing, right? It's the honeymoon period and the first 6 months at a new job. Hope, because you think that by adding this endeavor in, things are going to get better, right? And then there's gratitude for what it's bringing into you, right? Whether it's a salary, whether it's love, whether it's fulfillment, whether it's athleticism, who knows? But what's interesting is that I think that as we move along, and burnout is is now defined as a professional ailment, like it's something that you get from work stress. But I think that now, as we see it more and more, it can affect stay-at-home parents. It can affect, like I said, it can affect you in relationships. It can affect you with your parenting. It can affect you, and then of course it affects you with your work. An interesting stat that I found out was, I think we all know about 52%, or maybe not all know, about 52% of all people that are working are in burnout. I did see a statistic that showed that 63% of entrepreneurs identify as being burnt out. So you can see it kind of moves up there. In one of my previous lives, I kind of said, when you're burnt out, you're overworked and underappreciated, or overworked and under-earning, right? So you feel you're putting more into something than you're getting out. And I think that when I stumbled upon these three feelings of optimism, gratitude, and hope, it really does shine a light on the opposite side of the coin from that overworked and underappreciated, or overworked and under-earning. So one of the things, again, I like to focus on is actionable. What are some prompts? What are some ways that you can go from feeling, it's like right now, if you're burnt out, you're cynical. Oh, you can't see that. So you're cynical, you're tired, and you're kind of, I'm going to say hopeless, but you're, doubtful, right? Negative. So these are kind of some of the emotional symptoms that you're feeling when you're burnt out. So you can see these are all kind of polar opposites from the optimism, gratitude, and hope part of things. So where does that cynicism come in? Well, it's the same old, same old. Every day is a retread of the other day, right? How about tired? Well, you don't have, tired would just be exhaustion. You just don't want to be getting up in the mornings. Doubtful, well, this is kind of the opposite of hope, because whereas hope has you thinking about better things and about the energy you're putting into something, creating something better, doubt will dissuade you from putting in extra work or extra effort. And then, negativity, with the optimism, negativity also affects your gratitude, right? We're not as grateful for the things around us. We don't take pleasure in the small things. We're focused on something else that we don't have. We're looking for something to fill the hole, to fill the gap. If I just do this, I will be happy, right? And I think this is one of the things we're having in our conversation in our back and forth. And I was looking for 3 prompts, something I created for myself that I learned from various coaches and various programs, but I kind of just tweaked it to suit my mindset a little bit more and the way I like to approach it. So the 3 prompts that I came up with were, what can you look forward to today? Right? I think what happens is we're trying to solve a big problem all at once. So what can you look forward to today? So we're trying to solve like forever. Are we happy forever? Well, I think that's such a big, lofty goal for a lot of us that are suffering, that are sitting in that space of, I feel like crap right now. How am I going to get out of this? The first things first is looking forward to something in the immediate future. That could be an ice cream. That could be a walk with your kids. That could be, maybe a date night with your wife. Maybe that's playing a sport that you really like doing, For me, one of the things that I always have that I always feel grateful for and look forward to is I have my Wednesday night tennis teams. And every time I know I'm like going to go, I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to be outdoors. I'm going to, have funny conversations with people. And that's a day I look forward to. So, I can create my schedule and look forward to various things throughout the week. And that is one of them. So create stuff in your life that you can look forward to, and then key into that on a daily basis. The other one, everyone talks about gratitude journals, and they are effective. So what are you grateful for today? And this can get hard and tedious and monotonous, but I think that when you have a goal and when you understand why you're doing it, it becomes a lot more effective. So if you know that gratitude is a key component of overcoming burnout, finding gratitude becomes, I think, more powerful, more important. So when you're grateful for something, that gives you that energy to keep going. That gives you that energy that you're lacking, because in burnout, you aren't feeling energetic. You're feeling lethargic. You're feeling negative. You're feeling down. It borderlines on depression, and it overlaps with depression. So having gratitude could be something that gets you up out of the house today. Could be gratitude for that first cup of coffee. It could be gratitude for, everyone goes back to your health, but it could be gratitude for feeling less painful today. It could be gratitude for having a job to go to. Those kind of things. And then really refining it to, what do you appreciate, right? What do I appreciate today? Like, I tie a lot of gratitude with appreciation, and I think that that's kind of a nice way to change it up when you're getting gratitude fatigue, right? Because I think that's where it comes to as well. And then the next one is hope, and hope really focuses on that down the line concept of, what am I creating today that is going to be of value to me tomorrow, right? And I think this is something really important for men. I think that when we don't have it, we suffer quite a bit. It's a long-term goal. So really it's, what can I do? It's what can I do today that will help create something amazing for me in the future, right? So it's really just doing one thing, right? So what's one thing I can do today to improve 1%. Or improve by 1%, move towards my goal. My goal, my dream, my desire. Now, these are all actionable things, and that's the one thing that when we're in burnout, we're feeling inactive, we're feeling disconnected. And I really love these because you can tweak them a little bit, you can make them your own, but at the end of the day, you're focusing on 3 things that we know will help to alleviate and cure that, right? And it's a road. It's a road. You've got to take it one step at a time, and you've got to give yourself some compassion, and you got to slow down a bit. You're not going to overcome this overnight, but it's a lot easier, and you're going to get through it a lot faster if you just focus on small daily improvements, okay? Not dwelling on the past, not dwelling on the negativity and the cynicism and everything else, but focusing on things you can look forward to today that can put a smile on your face. You know, gratitude and appreciation for some of the things that are around you, for some of the things you've also accomplished. And then the last one is, what's one thing I can do today that moves me towards where I want to be, right? That's really ultimately what we come down to. So I hope this helped. You know, so it's just some 3 thoughts, 3 prompts that you can use on a daily basis that will help you to at least, I guess, stop the free fall, you know, and hopefully move things forward. So I hope that you guys got some great, that you got some insights from this, or just a different way of looking at it. I look forward to seeing you all next week. And if you are feeling these burnouts, and if you are in this place where you're kind of in a tailspin, you really don't know how to recover, whether it's yourself, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your brother, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's a close friend, definitely have them reach out for some help. I specialize in this. I have a 6-month program that will help you to get out of burnout, to help you to create kind of that life that you're looking for, to stop feeling this way, to stop making desperate decisions or feeling desperate, feeling trapped. So reach out, go to my website. If you're looking to create a consult, I'm more than happy to talk with you guys. I love talking with everybody and seeing how I can help them through this. So everyone take care, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.